everyone. So today we have to go over Baby Doge because as you can see, we are doing some pretty big numbers. We're up 18% in the last 7 days, so that's pretty good. We're going to talk about this where I believe Baby Doge is about to go next. Anyways, stick around to the end of the video. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Let's get straight into it. So currently we have 14 million inside of trading volume, 237 million in market cap. And then we have our 24-hour price change at 2.8% up, and then 7 days up 18.4%. So we're still doing decent in the last year, 46%. So, Baby Doge is still looking fairly decent right now. But let's go ahead and do our analysis here on Baby Doge. We're going to go over the price points after we do this. So first of all, I had noticed here inside of CoinGecko that our circulating supply has increased even more. So yeah, the developers over here, you can see they did sell some. Well, they didn't necessarily sell. They actually sent it to another wallet this time. So they didn't offload it onto a centralized exchange for cash. They just kind of sent it to another wallet. So we see the $165,000 has left 14 hours ago from the developer wallet. And then it went to this wallet ending in F3. And then it from the F3 wallet, which you can see here, the F3 wallet, we see the $165,000 then goes to the next wallet, which is 228, the last three digits, 228. And then we see here, 228 goes into this. And then we see the $165,000 then goes into the AA wallet. And then here you can see AA right here, the last two digits, AA. And then the AA wallet breaks it up into two different transactions. They then go ahead and send $87,000 to the CE0 wallet and then $71,000 to the F9E wallet. So first, this is going to be the first wallet right here, which is the CE0 wallet. You can see $87,000 went into the CE0 wallet. And then from the CE0 wallet, it comes into here to the F1 wallet where it's been sitting ever since then. So they haven't sent any outs. This wallet usually just has inflows. That's what it looks like. Maybe it's one of the marketing team's wallets, but they usually don't send money out of this wallet, not often at least. So there's that. And then we have this wallet right here. And again, this could be some of the developers. This could be someone on the Baby Doge team. It could be a marketing person. It could be anybody that, just decided to get a payday in Baby Doge, right? But you got to think about it. Again, I always say this, and I'm not trying to stick up for them, but if they are developing the project and that's their full-time job, they deserve payments for developing the project. Because I know I say this a lot, and I like to just show people where the money is going, but I'm not doing this to create FUD at all. I'm doing this, and FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I'm not doing this for that. I'm doing this so you guys know where the money is going from the developers and why the circulating supply increases, right? That's all I'm doing this for. I actually think it's not bad for them to take out money here and there because, you got to have a payday. Although it is a lot of money that they be taking out. I'm not going to lie. They be taking a lot of money. But hey, still, you got to get that payday, right? But anyways, the other half of the money went into the F9E wallet, and that is this right here, $71,000. This is the wallet they usually use to offload into Gate.io. So I wouldn't be surprised if this $361,000 was eventually withdrawn from this wallet, because usually they withdraw a lot from this wallet, right? They've been periodically doing it the whole time. So this is usually what they do. All right. Moving on from that, we have news for Baby Doge. So our Bitconomy earns Baby Doge now. So you can lock your Baby Doge up in there and earn 60% APR. So yeah, you can lock up Baby Doge and earn that money now for 90 days, 60% APR, which is pretty good. And then they also launched a Telegram for the Filipinos out there. So shout out to the Filipino people inside of the Baby Doge army. I'm actually about to be out there in the Philippines, but shout out to you guys out there. This person says, this is huge. You share a calendar of pop-up adoption days. Manila, Cebu, Davao, so volunteers can mobilize. That would be a good idea, actually. Be a very good idea. A lot of stray dogs out there, so that would be really helpful. And I think that would be really good for the Baby Doge community. There's a lot of stray dogs out in the Philippines. I'm out here inside of Thailand. There's a lot of stray dogs out in Thailand. So I think them coming through and adopting dogs that are like stray dogs, so living on the streets, that would be pretty cool. But anyways, let's talk about what everybody here wants to see. So everybody wants to know where the prices of Baby Doge is going next. So in order to find this out, we will first start at the weekly chart and we will go all the way down. So I'm going to show you all the time periods that actually matter, right? Now, this is the weekly chart. Let me take off the indicators here. The weekly chart, you're not going to be able to really decipher much because there's just not enough information on the indicators for this. But yeah, the weekly chart has been inside of a low trading area for a while. That's why you can't really calculate it on the weekly chart. The blue line on the percent R trend exhaustion is the long-term trend. Long-term trend still down. The white line is the short-term trend. Short-term trend kind of looks like it's curving up a little bit. So we should have a nice rise in the price coming here pretty soon. For Baby Doge, we just need to be patient. In the MACD, we still have buyers buying way more than the sellers. So that is buying way more than the sellers are selling. So that is pretty good. The daily chart shows us so much more. All right. So now we can bring back the indicators and we can bring back all this other stuff for the daily chart. All right. So first of all, the percent R trend exhaustion is looking bullish. And let me explain why. We're going to maximize it here. The long-term trend is on the up and up on the daily chart. The short-term trend is also on the up and up. And also the blue bar down here with the blue up arrow indicates a change in direction of the trend. So now the selling of the trend is now overexhausted, oversold. You can say either one. This is called the percent R trend exhaustion. So I'll just say overexhausted. The selling became overexhausted and it was confirmed by the blue up arrow and it confirmed the uptrend. Okay. And that is why not why we're going up, but that is just, a little breakdown of what happens when we go up. And then you can also see the MACD is also bullish, switched into buying zone. And now we can see buying pressure has taken over on the MACD for Baby Doge. Let's go hit the 4-hour chart. So 4-hour chart, we have now done a double top here. We've topped out twice on the 4-hour chart. There's a possibility for a stronger pullback. But there's also a possibility we can keep running. Last time we did a double top, we had a pullback. You can call it double top or head and shoulders. I believe this is a head and shoulders right here. So it is what it is. And then right now, I feel like right now I wouldn't call this a head and shoulders right now. I don't know. It could turn out to be something like that or, topping out twice. But yeah, we have hit that top twice right there. So that is a kind of a red flag when you look at all the other indicators, but there's a possibility that it could keep running right now. But what I do want you to look at is the percent R trend exhaustion. The trend is almost over exhausted on the top side. So a pullback wouldn't be too far-fetched. Okay. Now the long-term trend is still bullish. The long-term trend is still at the top. The short-term trend it was slightly bearish, but now it's becoming bullish again. So now the short-term trend is back. But what we do not want to see the long-term trend do is go lower, because look, this is a lower high. This one is a little bit higher, but we don't want to see something like this where it comes down and then it gets even lower. And then you just see the short-term trend come down with it, right? We don't want to see something like that. What we really want to see is an increase from here, but really it can't go up for much further from there. But we want to see an overextended, overexhausted uptrend, right? We want to see the uptrend staying overexhausted for the month, right? It does happen like this sometimes where it'll stay overexhausted for a whole month, but September is typically bearish, so there's a possibility that it won't do that. All right. If we were to break out here with Baby Doge, our next area would be up here at 1450, and then we would see us getting up here to this 1500 resistance on the Fibonacci. So that's the next level for us to target, 1500. And then after that, we have 1650. On top of that, we then are, what was that, like 1630-ish, and then 1650, right? But anyways, moving on to the 1-hour chart. So looking at the 1-hour chart, okay, now the 1-hour chart gives us more info. The 1-hour chart kind of shows us that, this rejection here might go down. Like it might last a little bit longer, right? We might have a harder pullback here with this, and I'll show you why. So if we pull up the percent R trend exhaustion, if we continue to curve down on the downside of this trend, then what you will end up seeing is Baby Doge coming down here to 1350 50, which is not a big deal at all. This only helps give us momentum to continue an uptrend. So I think a pullback is necessary from here. Bottom out, have another pump, right? And the pullback is necessary because this pullback would only probably bring us to 1350, possibly 1300, maybe even 1250, right? 1250 is the last area where we really had nice support, right? We had nice resistance here, so we would have some support there as well at 1300. But yeah, 1300 to 1250, if we have a pullback, could be inside of our horizons. So keep an eye out for that. And then the last one that really matters is the 30-minute chart. Now, the 30-minute chart pretty much confirms what the 1 hour chart just said. So the MACD, you can see selling off coming inside the MACD. And then when you pull up the %R trend exhaustion, you see the short-term trend is now pulling back on the downside. The long-term trend is also pulling back simultaneously. So it shows that the trend is now bearish. So we should end up seeing us bottoming out here soon and then having a nice pump. But look, it's going to take the long-term trend a little bit longer to get down there. So the long-term trend probably stops halfway and the short-term trend goes all the way down. And then the long-term trend comes back up, and then the short-term trend comes back up to meet the long-term trend, right? And then all over again, right? So that's pretty much what we got going on inside of Baby Doge. We should be seeing in this pullback here, but it'll be temporary. And we are inside of altcoin season. On every single video, I'm going to mention this because it's very important. 55.3% now inside of Bitcoin dominance. We were just at 56%. Last month we had 58 to 60%, I believe. But yeah, we are inside of altcoin season. I don't care what anybody says. This is altcoin season, right? Inside of July, we had 65% at the peak in June. We had 65% Bitcoin dominance, and now we are at 55.3%. This is how altcoin season starts. And look, by the end of altcoin season, you're going to see the Bitcoin dominance being all the way down here, like how it was in 2022. We might get a 38% in Bitcoin dominance. If we see 38% in Bitcoin dominance, that is the peak of altcoin season. That's the same thing what happened in 2018. You can see we went down to 34%, and in 2018, 38%. But now as the market gets stronger and stronger and more money flows into the market, we're probably going to end up seeing the low being around 40% to 43, maybe 45%, just because how the markets have been going. So yeah, we're definitely in altcoin season, and we're just seeing altcoins starting to take over. Ethereum is doing even more pumping than Bitcoin. So we're in a very good space right now, and Baby Doge is positioned to win at this point. So anyways, this is all I got for you all today. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll be back with another video.